We've covered why Dubai, we've covered where in Dubai, we've covered off-plan versus ready properties. Today, in this video, I will put real numbers behind the entire conversation. While the world is uncertain, the numbers flowing in or the money flowing into Dubai is not confused at all. Today, I want to show you exactly how much is coming in, who is making the smart moves, and why global uncertainty is the driver in this market. What is a serious investor supposed to do today, not in 6 months? Let me start with a number that reframes everything. In 2025, the UAE attracted 9,800 millionaires relocating here, number one in the entire world. The United States came in second at 7,500. The United Kingdom's, one of the largest economies in the world, was hemorrhaging millionaires at the rate of 16,500, not arriving, leaving. The estimated total wealth of those 9,800 individuals brought into Dubai was $63 billion. That is 231 billion dirhams of private equity moved into Dubai by individuals alone. And this trend is not just with individuals. BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, both actively ramping up their investments in the UAE. When institutions of that caliber allocate capital here, they've not just guessed. This is completely analyzed because retail investors will never do this. Dubai's millionaire population has grown 78% over the last decade. It now hosts over 72,000 high net worth individuals. Forecasts project that that number is going to cross over 100,000 by the end of 2026. Now, that's approximately a 39% increase in a single year. The DISC now hosts 120 family offices managing a combine of approximately $1.2 trillion in assets. Now, that is not tourism money. That is generational wealth choosing to make Dubai its permanent base. Here is what most people get completely wrong. They hear about global instability. They hear about US-China trade tensions. They hear about European economic slowdown. They hear about the geopolitical conflict, and they assume that it hurts Dubai. The data shows opposite is true. Dubai is a financial neutral zone. The UAE normalized its relations with Israel through the Abraham Accords in 2020. While maintaining economic ties across the Arab world and with Iran simultaneously. It has 140 double taxation agreement with countries globally, and it is positioned as the Switzerland of the Middle East. When US-China trade war escalates, Chinese high net worth individuals historically accelerate outbound capital flows. Dubai consistently ranks in their top 3 destinations. When European economies slow down, investors chase yield. Dubai's gross yield of 6.7% to 9% versus London and Paris at 2%, 3%. That makes it self. When regional instability rises across the wider Middle East, capital fleeing Lebanon, Egypt, and other stressed economies flow into Dubai. The city does not just survive periods of global uncertainty, it absorbs them at an opportunity. And the AED, the currency your Dubai property is priced in, is pegged to the US dollar. In the world of currency volatility, you are buying a hard asset of one of the most stable currency environments on the planet. Most credible forecasts currently project 5 to 8% annual price growth in Dubai through 2028. Even modeling recession scenarios across Europe and the United States. The buffer is structural, not speculative. Let's talk about where the smart money is moving right now. Specifically about the sophisticated investors that are positioning themselves in 2026. The narrative has shifted. Smart capital is no longer only chasing the Burj Khalifa postcard. It has moved forward toward infrastructure-led growth corridors. The core principles smart investors are using right now. Invest where the government is investing. Follow the infrastructure. That is where the appreciation compounds over time. Over 39 billion dirhams of planned sales in January 2026 alone. 11,230 transactions in 1 month. That's a 12% year-on-year price appreciation areas connected to the blue metro line. Two catalysts are driving the biggest smart capital moves right now. First, the Metro Blue Line. 14 new stations. Properties in connected corridors have already seen a 12% year-on-year appreciation following the expansion announcement alone. Just the announcement. The line has not fully opened yet. The capital gain has already started moving ahead just at the announcement. Second, Al Maktoum International Airport. When complete, it will be the largest airport in the world. The surrounding Dubai South Corridor is being described by institutional investors as the epicenter of a new economic city. Entry prices are below the central Dubai today. The growth runway over 5 to 7 years is considered largest among any emirate. In January 2026 alone, off-plan sales reached approximately 40 billion from the 11,230 individual transactions in 1 month. That is the level of conviction currently flowing into this market from investors who have done their homework. The smart money is not buying what is already famous. It is buying what is about to become famous. That's the difference between a good investor and a great one. Now, what we need to look at is the investment that buys you more than just a property. There is one layer of Dubai real estate that most people significantly undervalue. Buy property above 2 million dirhams in UAE and you qualify for a 10-year golden visa. This is not a residency stamp. This is a legal right to live, work, build in one of the most tax-efficient systems in the world for a decade. Sponsor your spouse, sponsor your kids, sponsor your parents, sponsor your drivers, sponsor your maids. Full access to UAE banking, healthcare, education. Enter and exit anytime freely without restrictions that most entry or residency visas carry. Western governments are tightening immigration, introducing exit taxes, increasing capital gains taxes. Now, against that background, the golden visa is becoming more valuable every year, not less. At just 2 million dirhams in Dubai, you are buying a physical asset that generates you yield. You are investing in a market that is growing at approximately 5% GDP a year. You have zero income tax on your returns, zero capital gains tax when you sell your property. You are buying optionally a legal base in a country with visa-free or visa on arrival access in over 180 nations. Now, that combination does not exist anywhere else on earth at this price point. Now, let's look at what a smart investor does right now. So what does a smart investor actually do in this environment? Let me be specific. So number one, they stop waiting for certainty. Certainty will never arrive. The investors who have built wealth through 2008, through COVID, through every period of volatility, bought during uncertainty, not after everything was resolved. The data in Dubai right now is as strong as it has ever been. The window of lower entry pricing is growth corridors, not permanent. Let's look at number two. They follow infrastructure, not headlines. Headlines tell you about fear. Infrastructure tells you about direction. Metro lines, airport expansions, government master plans. These are the signals that matter. Areas like Al Jaddaf with its urban technology district by 2030. MBR City with its 8 to 9% annual compounding growth. Dubai South, corridors ahead, Al Maktoum International Airport. Now, these are infrastructure plays, not hype plays. Number three, calculate net yield, not gross. A property at 8% gross yield after service charges of approximately 20 to 25 dirhams and vacancy and management fees may deliver 5 to 5.5% net yields. There is still one of the best yields globally, but you need to know your actual numbers before you commit, not discover it afterwards. Number four, they define their exit before their entry. Are you selling at handover or taking appreciation? Renting long term at 6 to 8% yield, or holding for 10 years and benefiting from the full development cycle? Each exit requires a different entry. The investors who make most money in Dubai are not the fastest. They are the most deliberate. Number 5, they use off-plan strategically, not blindly. Off-plan dominated 69.6% of Dubai transactions in 2025 for a reason. Lower entry point, payment flexibility, and 20 to 40% capital appreciation by handover in growth areas. But they choose developers with verified track records, confirmed by RERA registration, and active escrow accounts. The vehicle is already strong. The driver selection is everything. Now, let's look at the practical side. This surprises almost every first-time buyer. The price on a listing is not what you actually pay. In Dubai, you need to budget for an additional 7 to 10% on top of the purchase price. And as of 2026, that entire amount must be paid in cash. You cannot finance these costs into your mortgage. That regulatory change catches many buyers completely off guard. For an example, let's look at 2 million dirhams. Here is what 2 million dirhams actually costs you to complete the transaction. DLD, which is the Dubai Land Department transfer fees, which is 4% of your purchase price. Now, this is mandatory, no exceptions. So on 2 million, there will be an 80,000 dirham DLD fee. Then you have the agent's commission, which is 5% of the 2% VAT. Standard on ready or resale properties, which is going to be approximately 42,000 dirhams. The registration and the trustee fees, properties above 500,000 plus VAT, AED 4,200. Title deed issuance. Now, this is also a fixed admin fee, approximately 580 to 600 dirhams approximately. Now, the mortgage, if you are going for a mortgage, the registration is going to be approximately 0.25% of the loan amount plus approximately 300 dirhams. And if financing, this is going to be around 5,290. All of this is going to work up to be approximately 132,000 dirhams up front in cash. For all off-plan buyers specifically, you typically pay 0 agent fees. The developer covers that. On a 2 million dirham purchase, that saves you approximately 40,000 dirhams immediately. Total off-plan transaction costs will sit at around 4 to 6% versus 7 to 10% for ready property. Now, that difference is real money. Then we have annual service charges. Now, that is approximately 10 dirhams to 30 dirhams a year per square foot. It's calculated per square feet, be it if you are in a villa or an apartment. It's all the same. It just varies in terms of the amount. On a 1,000 square foot apartment, that is approximately around 10,000 to 30,000 dirhams annually, whether you live in it or not, whether you rent in it or not, whether it is empty or whether it is occupied. They always calculate that. Always calculate the net yield, not the gross. As I mentioned earlier, a property marked at 8% gross can land you between 5 to 5.5% net once they are factored in. Still globally competitive. However, you still need to know the real numbers before anything. Now, let's look at the legal framework that is protecting you. One more thing that most investors do not fully appreciate, and they should. Dubai has some of the strongest buyer protection laws for off-plan property in the world. In 2025 and 26, those protections were strengthened even further. 1% per quarter compensation owed by the developer per quarter if the delay exceeds 6 months. 100% escrow refund if the developer fails and the project is cancelled by RERA. 48% projected on-time delivery rate for 26 handovers. Developer selection is critical in 2026. DLD rolling out blockchain escrow tracking. Now, this is tamper-proof and time-stamped. Your payments go into a RERA mandated escrow account. The developer cannot access those funds until independent construction milestones are verified. If the delivery is delayed beyond the SPA grace period of approximate 6 to 12 months, you can cancel and claim a full refund. Now, if the delay passes 6 months without justification, the developer owes you 1% of your property value per quarter. Now, on a 2 million dirham property, that is approximately 20,000 dirhams per quarter owed to you while you wait. But this is non-negotiable. These protections only apply if you buy a RERA registered developer with a property registered escrow account. Verify this before you sign, always. Now let me bring the full picture together in numbers. 9,800 millionaires moved to Dubai in 2025, bringing approximately 63 billion US dollars with them. Off-plan sales hit 39 billion in January 2026 alone. The market transacted 917 billion dirhams in 2025. This is the strongest year ever. Yields are running at 6.7 to 9% in a world where most markets offer 2 to 3%. Price growth is forecast at 5 to 8% annually through 2028. Even in global recession scenarios. This is not a market driven by hype. It is being driven by population growth, capital inflows, infrastructure investment, and a tax environment that exists nowhere else at this scale. The smart investor right now is not waiting for a perfect moment. They're identifying the right assets in the right corridor with the right developer, and they are moving while others are still debating. Know your full costs. Calculate net, not gross. Follow the infrastructure. Define your exit before your entry. Verify everything before you sign. Do those things and you are ahead of the majority of investors entering the market right now. If you want to discuss your opportunities one-on-one, or you have a list of properties that you are confused with, or you want some more insights on it, or if you just want to have a conversation about this specific market, drop the word info in the comments and we will get in touch with you.